Hi guys, welcome to my kitchen in Oslo. I'm sitting on the floor because I don't have a great place to record, but here I am. Just thought I'd give you an update. If you would have told me in 2018, when I came out of the closet to my husband at the time, that I would be trapped in Norway in 2020, 11,000 kilometers away from my children, I would never have believed it. It's been a wild journey. If you would have told me I've traveled all over the world and that I'd have to start over and all the things, I don't know. I would have believed you probably, but I never could have predicted that I would be right where I am right now, going through all the things I'm going through. This has been probably the biggest event and biggest adventure in my life. And I use the word adventure because to me, an adventure is always something that you know will be challenging, but you embrace it with the attitude of positivity. When we go on an adventure, it could be camping, it could be anything, but we know that it's going to be a struggle, and we kind of take those struggles on as part of the fun of the challenge. So I'm trying to take my life as a really big adventure. Right now, things are okay. For those of you who don't know, I live in Kenya. I've been a missionary for 15 years. I was married 24 years, was very religious in my youth with a evangelical, charismatic, Pentecostal background. I'm gay, obvious. Um, and was in a marriage because I thought that's what I had to do to please God. I married because that's what I was taught, and that's what I was supposed to do in order to be a Proverbs 31 woman and to be the best Christian I could be. And from the very beginning, it was a struggle, but we managed. We managed, and we had a decent marriage for 24 years, but it wasn't without a lot of self-deprivation, and I didn't marry out of passion or love or feeling. It was married out of a commitment and a choice, and it was like an arranged marriage. And my husband was a good person, and we both thought that's what we had to do. But in the end, now we're friends, and we realize we've got beautiful children, a wonderful family, and we had an amazing project and all the things we've done in the last 24 years. Amazing life that we both know. I think he might have known from the very beginning that I'm gay. He would pick on me about it, and it just without meaning, he would say things like you know, different things. I'm not going to go into that past right now. So I say all that to say that when I came out, many people asked me how it worked with my children. My children actually were not surprised. My 16-year-old at the time, well, she's 16 now, she was 15 at the time, was like, I actually, although shocked, am not surprised. And children are smart. They're super duper clever, and they know when things aren't working, and they know something's up. So if you are in a marriage and you have children and you think you're gay and you are wondering how your children will take it, depending on how you raise them, of course, chances are your children will probably be like, okay, well, it wasn't working, and I see how you are now. So my children see me now very happy. They see me free. They see me um, being myself. And for the first time, they're seeing their mom share her heart. Like, I didn't cry for 24 years, really, apart from a rare, rare occasion. My kids never saw me cry. And now my kids are seeing who I am. I'm able to cry in front of my kids because I was able to open up parts of me that I had suppressed for so many years. And that included my emotions because I didn't want the truth of who I was to come out because I was ashamed. I was afraid of letting anyone know that I was attracted to women because that would have been this evil sin. This would have been this terrible thing. And I was a Christian, so how can I even go there? I can just say that my kids were like, "Oh, okay, we can see that." So when I started to behave more like myself, it wasn't a huge surprise for them. Yes, I cut my hair and I started dressing differently, but the reality is they realized, whoa, this is the mom. This is our mom. This is who we've wanted to know for such a long time. I was no longer as irritable. So my 8-year-old came up to me and goes, Mommy, I was not surprised. And I'm so glad because you and Daddy argued. And I feel like it's better now. And so kids are adaptable and kids are understanding and kids are super, super smart. Trust your kids. So, where am I now? I'm in Norway. I'm actually now in Oslo. We traveled from northern Norway down to Oslo. It's warmer here and Marit's things are here. And so we were able to come down here and get some of her stuff. And she works for SKN, which is Shaped Christian Network, which is an LGBTQ community organization that helps bridge the gap between the Christian community and the LGBTQ community, because many of us who are queer have that background and we've been hurt and struggled with a lot of the guilt and shame we feel because of religion. And because of this, Margaret and I also met with the leaders of a group called Salam, and they are a Muslim LGBTQ group. And we were able to sit down and discuss how we all struggle with our religions and the shame and the guilt that is laid upon us, whether you're Muslim or Christian or Hindu or any other religion. Truth be told, religion can suppress queer people. And I think that it was a good discussion and we were able to sort of collaborate together and brainstorm. And then I got to go to their Eid celebration at the end of Ramadan, and that was extremely cool to watch some of the men do belly dancing and all the things. It made me want to learn belly dancing. So I was able to read a poem there, which is really nice. I don't know if you know this, but I do write poetry. I write blogs and I do just record my thoughts in a journal, all on Patreon. So if you're curious about that, you can follow me on Patreon, patreon.com/Kate_Ellen. And that's where I share a lot of my works, my writing. So pop over there if you like, check that out. So here I am. I'm in Norway. We had that meeting with our Muslim friends. And while there, I met a man who told me, Kate, children have sensitive hearts and you should follow your children. So I learned a lot in that. And there's some things going on in my life that my children have been a huge, huge gift to me and guidance, because they are important and what they feel is extremely important. Trust your children. When your children say something, believe them. Listen wholeheartedly to your child. Try to build a relationship with your child based upon trust. I know growing up for me, I did not have the best relationship with my mother. And if she hears this, she probably knows it. It's no surprise. So I felt as if I wasn't trusted. My words weren't trusted. If I said something, she didn't believe me. So I make sure that when my child says, I'm sick, I feel this, or I think this, trust. Trust first, and you will go far with your children, because I think then your children will know that you are trustworthy as well. So anyways, it's also a form of respect, and I think it's the best way to believe in our kids and believe what they say and find what they're good at doing and support that. Speaking of children, it is so hard being 11,000 kilometers away from my children. I recently found out just 2 days ago that Kenya has shut the borders for another 30 days. That means I cannot fly back to my children right now, and I cannot get them out of Kenya to me here in Norway. So I am an emotional mess. I have struggled so much, and it got to the point where I was crying all the time. The anxiety was overwhelming, and with everything that I've been through, it was way too much. And here's what I did. Marit encouraged me to seek help, and I did. And I'm embarrassed to say that, but I did. I sought help, and I got help. So I am doing better. Always, if you need help, seek help. Don't be ashamed and don't be afraid of seeking help. So I'm just putting that out there to let you know that that's okay. Seeking help is very much okay. So I've gotten the help I need and I'm doing better, which is great. When Marta and I went to Kenya and had 3 months together there, We actually lived in isolation and spent every minute of every day together in Kenya. Now we traveled to, she asked me to come to Norway to speak at the Shaped Christian Network to share my story there with some other people who are also sharing their stories. When she asked me if I wanted to speak at the conference in Norway, I had only a little hesitation, and that hesitation was, right, I would have to leave my 4-year-old, and I've never left her, so that would be very hard. But as I was thinking it through, I thought, well, Kate, the world is small. She's only a plane ride and a phone call away, the reality of it. And so it's going to be okay. She's going to be fine. She's got her sister. She's got I have someone who's there caring for her. And I also have my ex who's now there. He wasn't there before. But she has people in place to look after her, as well as all the children. So she's going to be okay. I never, ever in my wildest dreams imagined that a virus would spread across the world and shut everything down. It never crossed my mind that I would be trapped in a foreign country, so far away from my children, unable to get home. This is like my biggest, well, okay, I was going to say it's my biggest nightmare, and it was. That's what I thought in my head. It was my biggest nightmare, but the reality of it is not. The kids are healthy. They're okay. And I'm trying to be positive about this and remind myself of all the good that's going on. And the truth of it is, I'm healthy. I'm alive. I can call them. They're healthy, they're alive. And although it's very, very hard for me to allow someone else to raise my children and homeschool my children, I'm coming to terms with it. I'm finally getting to a place where I'm like, right, Kate, don't beat yourself up. Because I refuse to allow myself happiness. I refuse to allow myself to breathe and to accept that I'm in this situation and that I should let go and enjoy some moments. And I got into a very deep depression. And I feel like now my kids probably don't want that for me. And I wasn't healthy that way. And I'm just now getting up out of that and realizing that it's okay, Kate, laugh a little, smile a little. And so that's where I am right now, trying to learn to laugh and smile just a little bit while I'm away and enjoy these moments while I can, but it is so hard. So that's what I'm doing, guys. I've been writing loads and loads and loads. And as far as my project, Kate Ellen Adventures, what I'm working on right now is being a voice for LGBTQ. I'm also spreading environmental awareness, and I'm talking about my project and educating in culture and diversity. So there's lots going on there, even though I'm here in Norway. It is a nonprofit, and so it is funded by donations from people like you. So that's it's difficult in this time where people are all sort of suspended in this, what is happening and what are we doing? So I get that. Everybody's just sort of like, wow, we're all trying to find a new normal. I'm trying to find a new normal. So it's wild. And my heart goes out to all of you who have lost jobs and all of you who are uncertain what's going to happen next. So that's my update for now. That's what's going on with me. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I'll try to get back to you and reply as soon as I can. Thank you so much for following me and being a part of my journey. If you wonder if I'm happy I came out, the answer is yes, 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 yes. 100 million times yes. Was it hard? Hardest thing I've ever done, and I've given birth 6 times at home, including in the middle of nowhere in rural Africa. It's hard. Is it worth it? Yes. A million times yes. Don't forget, click like and subscribe so you can get updates when I post new videos. Thanks for watching.